Who have been going back and forth for quite some time now. Morrell has been very vocal about wanting to get at David. I'm really looking forward to this fight.
It's so tough to hit him, especially if you're coming off wide. You got to really pinpoint the shots with David. I don't know if Morrell has that in him. And I'm a sharpshooter. And David was able to, like, you know, with his length, be able to, like, block a lot of the shots I was throwing as well, too. So, I mean, you really got to set him up with some clean walking trap shots.
Experts are offering their insights on the highly anticipated February 1, 2025 clash between David Benavidez and David Morrell at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. This bout, which has captivated the boxing world, pits two standout contenders with contrasting styles and strengths against each other. Both fighters have earned elite status and devoted followings, making this matchup one of the most talked about events in boxing. So this bout is really interesting because renowned champions Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev recently shared their thoughts on the upcoming fight during an interview with S News. While both expressed respect for the fighters, they avoided making definitive predictions, highlighting the unpredictable nature of the sport. Alexio Politsky, sorry, I pronounced your last name wrong. I'm sorry. Bivol, who has sparred with Benavidez, acknowledged the skills of both men, but refrained from picking a winner. I respect both boxers, he said. I've heard great things about Morrell. He's a very good fighter. When the fight happens, I will watch. Beterbiev, undefeated with 21 wins and 20 knockouts, simply stating, I don't know. And then... I don't know. Their neutral stances underscore the unique challenges each fighter brings to the ring. Benavidez, nicknamed the Mexican Monster, is known for relentless offensive pressure, blazing hand speed, and formidable power. In contrast, Morrell, a composed Cuban boxer, is celebrated for his technical precision and exceptional ring IQ. The right side, according to Bivol and Beterbiev, the fight's result will likely depend on which fighter can flawlessly execute their strategy. Benavidez's aggressive style could overwhelm Morrell if the Cuban fails to adapt, while Morrell's technical acumen might expose gaps in Benavidez's defense. The two champions also touched on their own careers and the broader boxing landscape. Bivol is preparing for a rematch against Beterbiev on February 22, 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Reflecting on resilience in boxing, Bivol emphasized the importance of avoiding excuses and staying disciplined. If you find excuses, you become weaker. You have to work on everything, he said. Bivol also hinted at potential future matchups, including a rematch with Canelo Alvarez and even a dream fight against Alexander Usyk in the heavyweight division. Additionally, he praised Terence Crawford, calling him one of his favorite fighters and highlighting Crawford's skillful boxing style as a significant advantage, even against a powerhouse like Canelo. As the Benavidez versus Morrell fight approaches, a key question remains. Will Morrell's technical mastery outmaneuver Benavidez's relentless pressure, or will the Mexican Monster prove too powerful for the Cuban rising star? Fans are eager to see how this intriguing clash of styles unfolds in what promises to be an unforgettable night of boxing. Benavidez's moralized fight unfolds in what promises to be an unforgettable night of boxing.
David Benavidez, you sparred him, you know he's great, you're great.
Yeah.
He's fighting David Morrell. Who wins that one?
I didn't watch fights of David Morrell, but I heard about him a lot, that he's a very good fighter with Cuban boxing school. It's interesting. When this fight will happen, I will watch it.
Okay, if you beat Arthur, then and David wins, you and David. Is that option?
It's possible. We are the same weight class, of course, but I don't want to think about anybody else.
True. Benavidez or Bivol, who wins? Benavidez and Morrell.
The other day you were in England with Roy Jones. You was praying with him. How was that? That was a very beautiful moment to see him just shooting up.
Как дела? Нормально.
Demetrius Andrade expressed skepticism about whether WBA regular light heavyweight champion David Morrell can effectively challenge David Benavidez's defense in their upcoming bout. Drawing from his own experience, Andrade struggled to penetrate Benavidez's long reach during their 2023 fight, which ended in the 6th round, with Andrade overwhelmed by Benavidez's imposing size and physical dominance. Interestingly, Morrell holds a longer reach advantage over Benavidez, 78 inches to 74 inches, something Andrade lacked. Morrell's physical attributes may provide him an edge, but Andrade questioned whether Morrell has the experience to capitalize on it. Morrell is talented, but he's a bit wild with his punches, Andrade said. That comes with experience, and I don't know if he's ready for someone like Benavidez. He can't take the hold me out, and he doesn't have the muscle mass to do it. When Morrell's reaching for people, he's letting people off his guard, and he can't keep his hands to himself. Interestingly, Morrell holds a greater reach of someone like Benavidez, and he's scoring points with 264 points. Benavidez, nicknamed the Mexican Monster, enters the fight with a reputation for power and durability. However, his first fight at 175 pounds against Alexander Grovesdick revealed some vulnerabilities. While Benavidez secured a unanimous decision, his punches lacked their usual force at the higher weight, and Grovesdick outclassed him in several exchanges. Despite this, Benavidez remains confident, with his team emphasizing their goal to prove dominance at light heavyweight, just as they did at super middleweight. When about 4 years later, Benavidez is back in the world. Jose Benavidez Sr., David's father and trainer, said the decision to take on Morrell was driven by a desire to showcase their skills against the best in the division. We're here to give fans the fights they want, he said. We're not ducking anyone. This is a tough fight, but we want to make history. As for Morrell, his own transition to 175 pounds mirrored Benavidez's, with a less than dominant debut. While Morrell secured a unanimous decision over RJ Collazo, he showed signs of inexperience in adjusting to the new weight class. Critics argued that Morrell's aggressive but sometimes reckless style could be exploited by Benavidez's more polished and experienced approach. And so as far as praise everything, Benavidez's more polished and experienced approach. The upcoming fight, scheduled for February 1st, has generated significant excitement in the boxing world. Legendary champion Floyd Mayweather has added to the hype, sharing the event poster on social media and calling it the best card of 2025. The undercard further bolsters the event's appeal. Highlights include a rematch between Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa for the WBC featherweight title, Isaac Cruz versus Angel Fierro in a lightweight showdown, and Jesus Ramos Jr. taking on Jason Rosario in a junior middleweight clash. Experts are divided on the main event. Sean Porter, a former WBC welterweight champion, called it a 50/50 fight, slightly favoring Benavidez due to his experience and power. Benavidez has faced resistance before and knows how to handle it. Morrell hasn't, Porter explained. As the fight approaches, both fighters remain confident yet cautious. Morrell's speed, reach, and unorthodox style present challenges for Benavidez, while Benavidez's power, durability, and experience could overwhelm Morrell. Regardless of the outcome, this bout promises to be an electrifying start to the 2025 boxing calendar. Fans eagerly await the answer to one burning question: who will emerge as the top contender at 175 pounds?
This is what you want. This is what you want. Two top guys in the same division, giving the fans exactly what they want to see. And I think that it's going to be a war. In my eyes, I see it as a 50-50 fight. And I know some might say, well, why do you think it's a 50-50 fight? Because, one, we know we've definitely seen a lot from Benavidez over the years. When it comes to Morrell, we've seen, spots of him. But I really, really know what he brings to the table. And that's why I think this is going to be a tough fight for both guys.
Ellerbe acknowledged David Morrell's impressive skill set, emphasizing why this fight would be a true test for both fighters. He's a great Cuban fighter from that system, Ellerbe stated, praising Morrell's technical ability, heavy hands, and knack for delivering punishing shots. It's going to come down to who can take the best shot. Will David be able to inflict enough damage to slow Morrell down, or will Morrell withstand it and land his own? David asked. Ellerbe looked over David's shoulder. He moved his head slightly to one side, without giving any information he wasn't given. Coach Greg Hackett also weighed in, predicting a competitive start but ultimately favoring Benavidez. Hackett believes Benavidez's experience and relentless body attacks will wear down Morrell. Morrell will look good in the first 5 rounds, but after that Benavidez will take over, Hackett explained. He described Benavidez as more experienced and battle-tested, noting that Morrell's relative inexperience in 12-round bouts could be a disadvantage. Yeah, Benavidez looking great. I think that his disadvantage might be his youth. I mean, he probably is not really as bad as Morrell. He believes Benavidez is more experienced and battle-tested, noting that Morrell's relative inexperience in 12-round bouts could be a disadvantage. Again, this may be hard to understand because it looks as if Benavidez was in the middle of, practicing with his black belt fighters, and that's like what kickstarted your fight with. While Morrell boasts an impressive amateur pedigree, including victories against high-level opponents, his professional career has lacked the same depth. Only 3 of his fights have gone the full 12 rounds. In contrast, Benavidez has consistently showcased his ability to dominate over longer fights, which Hackett predicts will be a crucial factor in this matchup. The build-up to the fight has been intense, with emotions running high. Hackett recalled how Morrell tried to hit Benavidez with his WBA belt during a heated exchange at a media workout. They know each other as a threat, and there's a lot riding on this fight, he said, pointing to the high stakes for both men as they step into a new weight class. It's one of those moments for me where it's like the fear is like actually overpowers the joy. They know each other's a threat and there's a lot riding on this fight, he said. Morrell's movement and powerful left hand could trouble Benavidez early, but Hackett warns that Benavidez's offense-heavy style could become overwhelming as the fight progresses. If Benavidez is sloppy, Morrell could catch him, Hackett admitted, but he still expressed confidence in Benavidez's ability to adapt and dominate. Morrell's August 3rd performance against Hot Rod Rivalry showcased his peak abilities in the early rounds, though his stamina seemed to wane in the later stages. Despite this, Morrell's power carried through to the championship rounds, making him a dangerous opponent, even when fatigued. Looking ahead, many believe the winner of this bout is unlikely to compete effectively against light heavyweight titans like Artur Beterbiev or Dmitry Bivol. Still, fans had hoped for a matchup with Canelo Alvarez, possibly as a follow-up to this fight. Ideally, the victor at super middleweight would face Canelo in a high-profile clash before moving on to a potential showdown with the Bivol Beterbiev winner at a catchweight. While financial backing for such events isn't a concern thanks to the support of stakeholders like Turki Lalalshik, the true appeal lies in delivering exciting, competitive fights. For years, Morrell and Benavidez called out Canelo Alvarez, seeking to secure a fight that would cement their legacies. Both fighters were once mandatory challengers for Canelo, and a clash with him remains a dream matchup for boxing purists. Whether this fight will propel the winner closer to that goal remains to be seen.
I think he's getting put into a corner now where he's running out of excuses.
He said that the only thing I bring is 25 extra pounds, and I'm not worth nothing. But he's asking 200 million, and now he's gonna fight me in the same night. Like, this shit's just stupid, bro. Like, you just tell the people you don't want to fight me.
You think his hunger is dissipating?
I don't know. I can't talk to you about what his hunger is, or how his training is, or how he feels. I can only speak to you about myself. But for me, it looks like fear. It looks like fear, like he's scared of me.
Mia's crushing defeat to Siraj created yet another obstacle in the carefully orchestrated plans of boxing's power players. The Frenchman's performance raised serious questions about Mangia's reputation as a top-tier fighter, sparking doubts about Canelo Alvarez's ability to dominate him as expected. This leaves Canelo facing a growing challenge, even within the super middleweight division. When fans dream of seeing the best fighters square off, the harsh reality of business often intervenes. Financial motives have prevented some of the most anticipated showdowns, leaving fans disillusioned by bouts marketed as elite that fail to deliver. The proliferation of interim champions has further muddied the landscape, making it harder for fans to invest in rankings or divisions. A lot of people, such as the fans who obsessively follow the elite towards disappear in silence, leaving behind the feeling of lost but still thinking of themselves as people of high standing. Today, many fans focus more on watching their favorite stars rack up wins and wealth than on the competitive integrity of the sport. Despite these challenges, boxing continues to deliver electrifying matches across all weight classes. The sport thrives when fighters earn their spots the old-fashioned way, through grit and determination. When fans finally witness the matchups they've been waiting for, success is almost inevitable. While athletes deserve to be rewarded for their efforts, their journey must honor the sport's legacy. So that's becoming more common now, right? Like, success is almost inevitable. When fans finally witness the matchups they've been waiting for, success is almost inevitable. When fans finally witness the matchups they've been waiting for, success is almost inevitable. When fans finally witness the matchups they've been waiting for, accept the rescue. It's about more than titles. It's about respecting the sacrifices made by those who came before. Boxing has always been a business-driven sport, but maintaining its integrity is essential. Without vigilance, the noble art risks becoming a marketplace where money dictates outcomes. As Morrell and Benavidez prepare to face off at a weight suited to the natural progression of their careers, it's a reminder that boxing is at its best when competition, not commerce, takes center stage. The boxing is...
He's scared.
You're not confident, Benavidez. I'm on throw. Let's get it. That's not for show. That's not for show. Good work, David.
All right, guys, circle cameras.
Let's go.
Right here together, guys. Come on, guys. Right here together, guys. Right here, guys. TV's in the back.
Acá, Benavidez. Acá, de este lado.
All right, guys, stay like that. We're doing.
That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our future uploads. And with that, guys,